A new play for radio by Shirley Jenkins.
There should have been no pain. It was too soon. I was not prepared for it. If I stood under the apple tree that had lost its leaves, it would go like the apples, lost in the October garden. Lean on the trunk then and feel quiet. Quiet with no pain. Only the warmth of the child, small in my womb, safe in my body, as I stood under the apple tree in the empty garden. There was sun, but cold sun, as I turned and watched the shine on the house windows. I was alone with the house, with the tree, with the child. The sun went and the light. Clouds filled in the branches above me, and rain, harsh as a stern tongue, cut at my bellied form. Quick for a pregnant foot I ran, clutching the child with my arm, quick for the house. We stood then, looking for breath, alone at the window. I spoke to her, I asked her what we should do that day, shut behind bricks and glass. There was the day until the night when he would come, her father, and she would know him, his slow voice. There was the day, and there was pain, and I was not prepared for it. In the room beyond the stairs was the bed where I lay down to lull the child to sleep. Rain cold on the windows, and I was warm with the lightness of feathers holding me, warm with the warmth of a 6-month child safe in my womb, small in my body, as I lay still in the sheets of that growing place. I was alone with the pain, light pain. I was alone with the child, love child. Strange to begin on a strange chair on a day with no thought of beginning. Then the child began. He reached out his arms, her father, strong as he loved me, pressing his skin, my body, into the plush of that casual seat. No bird song, no bride chamber. Horsehair, sagging in ancient springs, beer rings faded on arms, as we beat the dust into that dusty room. An odd time to begin. The pain had stopped. The child lay listening as I talked. She made no movement, but I knew her pulse loud over mine. Soon he would come and she would know him, her father, who was not my husband. Strange how one loves and talks of love and does not love, and loves and does not love, and what is left? There was a man, I loved him, I married him. I left him because I did not love him. And there was another man, I loved him, and there was a child. On the wall of the room, light from the street lamp blurred into a shadowed face, my husband's face. I lifted a finger, traced its lines, nose, hair, eyes, chin, paper rose, a paper ear, structure of face, yet faceless. He stayed there on the wall, and I saw him, saw this and saw no more. There was no more.
Are you there?
Called the man. I heard his key heavy on the lock of his house, heard his feet on the stairs.
Are you there?
The child stretched out and rose to meet him, her father, who was not my husband.
There you are.
He found me, he came. He lay beside me, gentle on my arm, dry with the business of work outside the walls, flat with the day beyond my mattress. There was no pain. I did not speak of it. Enough for that moment to feel the child and the father and forget the day already passed into the night. He turned and touched the child shut in my tall stomach. She turned and thrust at him. Surprised, he repeated the movement, and she, with all the force of her tiny feet, kicked me, him, his hand, my straining skin, until the game played in the quiet dark burst into cries of loud joy, 3 full voices from the throats of 2.
She's quick. She's very quick.
He said, spent with his laughing.
She's very quick.
The child, losing her vigor, returned to his sleep, and I, nursing the sides of my still belly, saw nothing beyond them. He left me, singing light in his step about the house, and I was heavy. Strange to live with a man, and lie with a man, and carry a child who knows her father, who is not my husband. Strange. Sleep mixed with the smell of supper, and both were far away. The child was quiet, tired by her long play, and I let her stay, glad of the good rest after the rough game. Cars up the hill past the house, slashing through the night rain, slashing like the pain had slashed through my body, but not now. Stopped. Strange to remember pain. It is over and gone and only is when it is. Nothing lasts. Nothing. I moved violently. The child moved. 1 finger. Enough. I spoke to her. I said, I have had pain. I was younger then. I was sick. I was wrapped in a blanket, raced in a car, rushed on a stretcher, closed in white walls, prodded in hurt places. I screamed, cried. Silence. I woke. I was better. I was much better. I remembered pain, but I forgot. Nothing lasts. Nothing. And I have had pain. I was younger then. A room and a man, and I married him. I sat in that hollow place. I was empty. Now I'm full.
Are you awake?
I was awake. I was better. There was a light in the room. I saw in the mirror, facing the bed, a fat woman and a thin man. He stroked her hair, kissed her cheek, and the fat woman smiled, happy under her dark eyes.
You were very beautiful.
He said this looking at me, and I believed him. He sat quiet as I ate, not wanting to eat but eating. I asked him about his day. Reality sat in the room. Our talk was trivial. A man, a woman, and the price of onions. He was a thin man, her father. Dark, not special. Someone and no one. But she knew him, the child, as I knew him. And there was warmth in the room because of it. Strange the things one will say when one could say so much. I said, keep the fire going.
I'll see to it.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them in the morning.
I'll see to it.
Reality. Normality. A man, a woman, and a mess of washing. He would leave me for this, then he would return, sleep in my bed until the morning would send him outside the house in the garden, and I would be alone with the child.
I won't be long. I'm tired. You're tired. Shall I put out the light?
I wanted him to put out the light. I hated the fat woman. Strange how one talks of beauty, and longs for beauty, and works for beauty, and is not beautiful. I had been beautiful, enough for most men. The child stirred then, so that I saw her, round, laughing, with her father's black hair, straight and thick spikes, so that I should know her as I knew her father, as he had known me when I was beautiful. A boy passed down the hill, past the house, whistling. And I wanted to dance, to lose the weight that was the woman in the bed. I hated that woman. I hated the child, love child. I hated the seed, the fruit, the sin, the fall, hated the man, her father. There was a room, and I remembered I had shrieked the child at him, struck him because of a day in a sagging chair. He had heard me. Let me hurt him. And when it was over, the shrill words, the words shouted at the score of one. He spoke of a house and a garden. Saw in that stupid egg stuck by firm cord to female cave a child. I saw nothing. But nothing lasts. Not the boy whistling down the hill, not the desire to dance, not the hate, nothing. Only the child.
It stopped raining.
He was there.
I'll pull back the curtains. It's very clear tonight.
He took off his clothes, dropping them in neat piles on the cane chair. His face, silhouetted against the wall, was solid, hard, no shadow. He knelt incongruously at the bedside.
If I should die before the day, I pray you wash my sins away.
The moonlight touched my face, and I shone pure white.
Do you need anything? Are you all right?
I was all right. I had waited for sleep, and it would not come. I had stayed so long waiting for a wall of sheep so that I might leap over without counting any. I spoke to him. He lay locked away from me. And in a while, there was pain. There should have been no pain. It was too soon. I was not prepared for it. I would get up, walk in the house, walk to watch the moon light upon the garden. I would walk in the house and it would go away. Down on the puddled lawn, patches of water spoke diamonds to the diamond stars. The apple tree, bare and fruitless, spread out its spider arms, called to me. Strange how one loves a tree, like a child, like a man, like a church, and finds comfort in its body. Out onto the lawn then, hugging the gown to the child, to myself, till we stood under the branches. Perhaps he would wake and see us standing there, think me weak in a woman's head, and say it was the child. It was me. I needed the wood stiff against my spine, needed the wood safe between sky and head, needed the roots set in the rock of some earth, so that I might cling to them and not blow like a leaf, lifeless, away. Strange how one talks of safe, and looks for safe, and is safe, and loses it, and is lost. I was alone with the child and the tree. I held to them, the pain eased by the pressure of hands.
What are you doing?
He called from the door of the house.
What are you doing out there? I looked for you. What are you doing?
It's the child, I said. It was me. He put his arm around my shoulders. He took me towards the house. Tea deals with birth and death. We sat in that house and drank tea. I spoke about pain briefly because it was passing. To please him, I swallowed pills. We walked before him up the stairs and heard the sounds of the house door locked behind us. Bed. Pills and pain. Pill sleep and pill dream. Float. On a sea first, calm on a summer morning. No wind, flat calm, flat sea. Float and feel nothing. Float and fall and float and fall. And find people walking, pushing, pointing. People and a man, faceless at the side, pulling at the side. People, white, bells, church, bells, steeple. People pushing, fussing, faceless. Find him at the side, faceless. Run, run, naked in the big street. Run, naked for the people. Run, faceless. Faster, faster, faceless, faster, faster, faster. There's a house, and a garden, and a tree. If I can walk in my dream, I can reach it. If I can reach in my dream, I can walk. Strange how my legs sink, how my feet sponge on the vanished earth. There's a tree. And a child, a round, laughing child with hair black in long spikes, who claps her hand as the branches dance and she sees me running, and I cannot run. And a storm shakes its teeth in the wind, and the wind takes in its teeth the tree, and I run, and I move. Nothing, but the wind moves, tearing its roots from my body, the tree, the child, tearing, taking, tearing, taking from me. I woke. I had been crying in the night. The man moved but slept, not hearing my sounds in the darkness. I would not wake him. Curled against my form, he lay like a child. 2 children and me, the mother. I lay, wondered at the dream, recalled it, spread my fingers, then to claw at the bed sheet and dig the fear out of them. I felt warmth under my hand, a cloying wetness. My warmth, my wet, red for my body. Then the pain-cut, knife-edged bluntness sawn away, drove in a spear drive and left me sobbing for the breath. It was too soon. There should have been no pain. I was not prepared for it. It was too soon. It was now. He heard me. He stood there watching the white stain whiten on the stained sheet. He wanted to speak. And when he spoke...
It's 3 o'clock.
There was his voice talking. It happens at night, always at night.
I'll phone.
We had no phone. But there's always a kiosk on the corner. He fell into light clothes, cursing his fumbling. He was frightened. I would not be frightened. He would come, the doctor, with a black bag. He would stop the bleeding. I would lie in bed. I would be all right. I believed it.
I won't be long.
He hesitated.
I won't be long.
He was lost, left out. Strange to father a play and have no part in it. I had had pain before, but not this. This gripped the child in my womb, dragged at her, forcing her from me. I fought, Each wave rose from far off. I saw it grow bigger and bigger, close, then closer, drowning my body, lying on the beach bed, receding, cheated for that moment of the child. Each sea stronger than the last, each ebb fiercer, but I was strong and I would have her. And he would come, the doctor, with a black bag, and I would be all right, I believed it. Feet on the quiet street, feet coming to the house, his feet, her father's. "Where are you?" I called, afraid to be alone, afraid because the child rejected me. "Where are you?" He came into the room. I clung to the bedclothes, kicked at the wash of pain.
Is it bad?
Futile, are there no words?
Is it?
Fine.
You're all right.
I would be all right.
They're coming.
Soon.
Very soon. There should be no pain. We weren't prepared for it.
It will pass. It must pass.
It will go away. It won't last. Nothing lasts.
Nothing. He smiled, thinking his words had eased me. I smiled, letting him think me easy. I saw his face, close and away, far and near, part of the same experience, apart. He touched my hand. Contact. He spoke. No communication. It was a long time. We waited. There were words. He said,
You'll be all right.
"Are there no words?" It was a long time. We stayed there. And we listened for the siren in the night street. We listened for the siren. But there was none in that late night. It was a long time. Then he heard it come up the hill to the house. And he ran to the shut door. I lay, accepting, repulsing, holding caught with the tide, calm now, composed, yet could not hold it back. There was a surge man in the room, standing beside her father, practical, patient, gentle, doing a job. We were a situation seen before. He said,
Can you walk, love?
I could walk. It had gone, the pain. I would walk. But it reached me, rolled in from the wall, big, crested, and the surgeman caught me. I caught him, hard, rough, strong to hold, and I held. I held him.
You shouldn't have left us so late, love.
He lifted my body. Knew it too early. A smile then. A smile. But no sympathy. We were a situation. Out into the damp air. Into the ambulance. All around the street slept. I saw faces fixed in oblivion. In the morning,
Did you hear?
Did you know?
I thought I heard.
I thought it was.
they would stare at the house, the empty house, and be sorry. I shouted. He soothed me, her father, rode with me, held my hand, and was helpless. There was the house, the tree, the child, and the storm shakes its teeth, and the wind takes in its teeth the tree, and I run and I move, nothing. But the wind moves, tearing its roots from my body, the tree, the child, tearing, taking, tearing, taking away from me.
Hush, hush.
There, love, there.
I screamed for the child, they said.
They'll give you something.
I'll give you something.
I believed in the black bag and the maker of all things better. I believed, I fought. Fear left me. He left me, the surgeman, to a stretcher and the nurse. He left me, her father, because his business was over. What was begun was working in me. He walked along the ward. Unwanted, unnecessary. I called, thinking of him. There's a cake. I cooked it. You won't be hungry.
No, I'll be all right.
Strange the things one will say when one can say so much. I was alone with a child. I was alone in a world of beds that stretched in stiff rows running away from me. I waited. They would come. They would give me something. We would be all right. The nurse said,
Relax. Breathe deeply.
I explained. It is too soon. They had to stop it. The doctor said,
Relax. Breathe deeply.
I explained it was too soon. They had to stop it. They said,
Clean nitrous.
Stop it.
Razor.
Stop it.
Must be a good girl. Behave yourself.
Stop it.
No noise. You knew what you were starting.
Stop it.
No fuss. Just think of finishing.
Stop it.
It will stop.
The nurse said,
Shall we move her?
the doctor said,
Yes, move her.
I said, stop it.
It will stop, dear. Quite quickly.
There was a trolley, and they took me from the bed. They pushed me loud along tin tunnels, shaking with the sound of wheels. White men, white women, white walls, white in the night light, and dark beyond. There was a room, small room, and a slab. Rubber-coated slab, smelling of rubber, cold, unyielding. Masks, rubber, cylinders, rubber, hands, rubber. Strange how I'd known this room and seen this room since I'd known how it was with women. I had seen it, known I would see it, but with birth. They left me. I was alone, with a slab, with a child, with a clock. Time was in the room, and there was no time. Quiet, strange quiet. I thought her mine, warm in the womb again. Peace, strange peace. I asked her to cheat the slab, the nurse, the small room, and stay with me. Movement, strange movement of the child within the mother. Suddenly sliding, ripping, pushing, pressing. It was sudden. I was not prepared for it. She was born. She breathed. I did not see her, and they took her from me. They told me weight and sex and hair, thick and black spikes, so that I should know her. There was a name that I gave her. They gave me tea. I lay on the slab, and I took the tea. I was alone. A child, separate, feeling for life. We're sorry, they said. She's dead, they said. There will be others, they said. The end of a situation. There would be a white cross for our guilt, stone for our sorrow. No mother, no father, no child, no pain. Nothing lasts. Nothing.
In The Child by Shirley Jenkins, the part of the woman was played by Marlene Dietrich, the man by Godfrey Kenton, the ambulance man and the doctor by Alan Barry, and the nurse by Joe Matheson. The program, which was recorded, was produced by Richard Imeson.